Hello, it's your favorite sports thunk here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Wow. The Broncos informed Russell Wilson that they're going to be releasing him. Mm-hmm. His releasal will trigger an NFL record, $85 million in dead cap. It's the largest dead cap hit in league history, bigger than the previous two records combined. The previous record was Matt Ryan, $40,530,000, and Aaron Rodgers, $40,310,000. So if you combine those two together, they're not as large as the money that the Broncos are going to have to eat that they can't use for cap space on Russell Wilson. Yeah. As a matter of fact, if my math serves me correct, they're not going to even get to the extension. So they let him go. Russell made $124 million for 2 years of work with the Broncos. This is what the Seahawks got out of this deal. The Seahawks got a first rounder, a second rounder, a fifth round pick in 2022. They got a first and a second round pick in 2023. They also got the quarterback. What's the quarterback? From Missouri, forget his name. They got Noah Fant, the Broncos tight end. They got Shelby Harris, who was who's a young defensive tackle. Luck. Is that his name? What's his name? I forget his name. Ash, what's his name? The quarterback for the Broncos. Oh, Drew Lock. Drew Lock. Yeah. So the Broncos paid Russ $124 million in salary, gave them Noah Fant, who was the Broncos' first-round draft pick, Drew Lock, Shelby Harris, and 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a fifth-round pick. To say this was an epic fail for the Broncos would be an understatement. A great game. For the Seahawks? For the Seahawks, because the Seahawks weren't going to pay that money. Right. They weren't going to give Russ the extension that he wanted. Right. And so when you can think about it, I don't want this, and I can turn it into something epic. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, Ocho, you got a coat that you no longer want to wear. And you know what? Somebody say, Ocho, man, I'll give you $50,000 for that coat. You're like, okay. Hell, I was looking to get rid of it anyway. Right. That's what the Seattle Seahawks did for Russ. So what are your thoughts about, I'll chime in after you, what are your thoughts about what the Broncos did? That's the nature of the business. Yeah. Hoping and expecting to get, wait, I blocked out? No, you good. Okay, but you scared me for a minute. Again, it's a gambling business in a sense when it comes to owners and investing in players, because you never know what you're going to get. But what they were hoping to get, what we all thought we were going to get, was the Russell Wilson of old that we were used to seeing with the Seattle Seahawks. Very good, very good quarterback. Obviously, 9-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl 48 when they beat the Broncos. To me, I don't think they gave Russell Wilson enough time to come in and change the organization in the direction in which they wanted it to go. I think the owners that don't have a football background, they don't understand what it takes, the time it takes to turn the organization around. They wanted Russell Wilson to come in and be this ungodly savior and flip the script and all of a sudden make them contenders right away. That's not the way it works. I think they had a good quarterback. Now they put themselves behind the 8 ball, because now you're not going to have anyone at the helm, and you're basically starting all the way back over when you could have kept Russell Wilson, which what I would have done, understanding what he's done, understanding the experience that he has, playoff contender, being in Super Bowls. He knows how to get there. He knows how to win. Let's build around him and have a little patience. People that are not football owners or have football backgrounds are very impatient and think they can spin their way into winning right away, and that's not going to happen. Now, as far as Russell Wilson's future, to me, what makes the most sense, right over there in Pittsburgh. Sure. Right over there in Pittsburgh. Why not? You're going to a historic franchise that is known for doing what? Winning Lombardi trophies. They have everything you need right around them. great running game, Super Bowl winning coach, great receivers, hell of a defense. It just makes sense. No matter what anyone else says, it just makes sense to me as opposed to any other places that he can go.
Sometimes, Ocho, a lot of times I phrase things and I use analogies. Mm-hmm. And I use analogies a lot when it comes to relationships.
Yes, sir.
This was a relationship, and we hear this all the time. Well, somebody had to pay their wife $20 million, $30 million. Man, I'd have kept her. Well, if you're not happy, why would you keep her? Mm-hmm. That's the Broncos situation. You say, man, it's going to cost them $85 million in dead cap. They're not happy with Russ. They don't believe in Russ. So why would you keep him? So in this situation, I want players to understand. Mm-hmm. You see what they're willing to do? Now, they'll eat $85 million, in which money they can't use for future players or for players. But if you ask them for $85 million, they ain't got it. Fans, you see that?
Come on, talk.
You see how teams find money and do. They basically threw $85 million. I was like, man, we don't care. They're paying Russell Wilson $39 million this year, and he won't take a snap for the Broncos. Now, Russ can go out there in the open market and maybe get another deal, and he might make $80 million this year with the 39 plus the money that he gets from another team.
Yeah.
So this notion that, oh man, teams are always gonna do what's in the best interest of the team.
Yeah.
Players, please do what's in the best interest of you. I'm not telling you to go. I'm not telling you to stay. But what I will tell you is that you need to do what's in the best interest of you. And I gave him a hometown discount. Teams never give sponsors. They never give advertisers. They didn't give ESPN. They didn't give Fox. They didn't give CBS, NBC, Amazon. Right. They didn't give Peacock. They didn't give them no discount. So you know what, guys? Hey, they say CBS, y'all been covering football for 60 years. We're gonna cut y'all a deal. NBC, y'all been at it for about 50. Fox, y'all got the deal, and y'all came in 94. So you know what? Y'all been at this thing for 30 years. We're gonna cut you a deal. Mm-hmm. They don't cut anybody else deals, but the team always want players to give them a deal. Mm-hmm. And players like, you right. I'm gonna do what's in the best interest of the team.
Yeah.
No, that's not your team. If the team said Johnson, do what's in the best interest of Johnson, because that's the team. That's helping the team. But that team say Broncos, that team say Cowboys or Eagles or Giants or whatever. But players, man, and they take that money and do what? Right in their pocket. No, let me take that back. Go right back to the bank and draw interest. Mm-hmm. When have you ever heard teams cut prices on tickets, cut prices on concession, cut prices on memorabilia, or paraphernalia? Mm-hmm. I just want to see that. Teams lose and still increase the prices.
Yeah.
If they win, you know damn well they're going to increase the prices. And fans go right along with it.
Yeah.
They don't even know. They're like, oh, you mad at this guy, and the owner's taking your money. Like, yeah, see how we did it? We got them thinking that he's selfish, but it's really us that's selfish.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's been that way for a very long time. I'm not sure there are some fans that really understand the business and understand, the little nuances in the games that the owners do play and how they flip the script and have the fans believing that the players are the issue. And it's sad. Obviously, this is a cutthroat business. And if you understand the business in general and you're able to separate the business and emotions side of it, and understand the game of football in general, then you're able to differentiate between the two and who's right. And most of the time, I think it'd be in the best interest of fans to side with the players, even though your loyalty is with a specific team.
Yes, because the player's going to leave, Ocho.
Yeah, at some point.
You left Cincy. The Bengals are still in Cincy.
Yeah.
Carson Palmer left. The Bengals are still there. Yeah. Joe Burrow, Chase, those guys are going to be. That's why it's hard for them to untie their loyalty and don't have loyalty to a specific player, because said player is going to move along, whether it's 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or if you're fortunate like Tom Brady, you play 20 years in one locale. Right. But eventually you're going to move on. But guess what? The team's going to stay.
Yeah.
Now, you do have isolated instances. You get St. Louis that was in St. Louis and, boom, they leave.
Right.
Oh, actually, the Arizona Cardinals was in St. Louis, and they went to Arizona. They were the St. Louis Cardinals, and they went to Arizona. The Rams were in Anaheim and went to St. Louis. Now they're in L.A. Hell, to Oakland, they go up and down the interstate. They were Oakland, and then they the Rams, and then they L.A., the Coliseum, then they back to Oakland. Now they went to a whole nother state. We see the Colts move in the middle of the night in '84. So, but the fans' loyalty has been and for the most part, be loyal to the team. Yeah. But it just goes to show that the teams don't care. Yeah. They'll eat 85 million.
Yeah. And it's happened many a time before, and then you just don't hear about it until it's a player of this caliber. Right. And it gets somewhat of an eye-opener, but it goes on all the time on smaller scales. Very seldom does it happen on a scale of this magnitude. Mm-hmm.
Well, we saw what they did. We saw them eat the money with Matt Ryan. We saw them eat the money with Aaron Rodgers. We've seen them eat money before, but not to the tune of double what the other two high dead cap hits were. Right. So he doubled it. So now it's time for a new segment. We've got a new segment, Ocho. It's called Money Moves, and it's presented by DraftKings. Ocho, Money Moves, presented by DraftKings. Tell me, where do you think Russell Wilson will be playing next season?
Hey.
Okay, so it's gonna be delayed. I get it. So it's gonna be like all the other segments. So let me go back, Ocho.
Yeah.
We know Russell Wilson will no longer be a Bronco. They announced it today. They're moving on. They wish Russell good luck. We got a new segment, and it's called Money Moves, presented by DraftKings. Ocho, where do you think Russell Wilson will be playing next season?
You ready? Can I answer now?
Yeah.
Oh, listen. The team that makes the most sense, the organization and the franchise that makes the most sense. The team and the organization and the franchise that has a head coach where it makes the most sense. The team, the franchise, and the organization that has a great receiver and George Pickens, a great running back in Najee Harris.
Yeah. Jaylen Warren is also there.
One of the best defensive players on defense, and also a great supporting cast with that as well.
Yeah.
You put a quarterback in that situation in itself, I think it gives him a great chance to be in contention. Again, even me as a Bengal can sit here and be honest about it and what Russell Wilson can do for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I can do that. I can separate the two, even though my allegiance is as a Bengal.
Right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are the betting favorite at minus 200. Then comes in the Las Vegas Raiders at plus 275. The Atlanta Falcons are third at plus 400. The Patriots are fourth.
Russell Wilson to the Steelers will probably be the one that makes the most sense. Oh, no. None of that makes sense. None of that makes sense. I'm just telling you what makes sense from a football standpoint.
But you do know they're also in the running for Justin Fields, and it seems to be the Steelers have the biggest offer on the table for Justin Fields.
I like it, but I prefer Justin Fields in Atlanta. I'm just saying me. And I'm knowing Justin Fields. Listen, I can't put myself in his shoes. I'm just saying what I would do if I were Justin. I would probably go to Atlanta.
I mean, obviously, I think that would, if he has a choice in the matter. I don't think he had the choice.
He
doesn't. I think the thing is the Bears are probably going to go for the best offer. Who's going to give me the biggest package? Because they do have 2 first-round picks. I don't know. I would have thought that Justin Fields would bring at least a first-round pick, even if it's at the lower, somewhere between 27 and 32. Right. Obviously, Kansas City is not in play. Buffalo's not in play. Baltimore's not in play. No. Who else made it that far? 49ers are not in play. So, maybe somewhere between 20 and 25. Because we know, like, the teams that made it to the championship games, we know they're not looking for a quarterback. Right. We know the Lions are not looking for a quarterback. But I think for me, I love Justin Fields to Atlanta. It's his hometown team. Yeah. He'll be dynamic on that turf. They have skill position players. I like him with Raheem Morris. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't know if they've named a coordinator yet, but I think they can do dynamic things there. But right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are the betting favorite to land Russell Wilson's services.
And you know what's funny?
What's that?
Is I said this so long ago. I said this so long ago before anybody was saying it, and they called me crazy. Oh, that's not going to happen. I mean, listen, there's certain.
Go ahead, Ocho. I'm gonna let you finish your point.
Yeah, I mean, they called me crazy. I said, listen, if anything happened, if things don't work out, obviously when the rumblings and the talks of him leaving and him cutting him and letting him go, the first thing I said was, well, the only thing that makes sense to me, based on the landscape of the NFL and the situation and quarterbacks on the rest of the other 31 teams, there are some places you just ain't going to have quarterbacks solidified for 10 years. But hell, the best thing that looks good, you see that girl walk by with that skirt on. That's the Steelers.
That's the Steelers?
Yeah.
Who's that? What's that? Maybe some ice melted or something.
You got ghosts in there, huh?
Now I got this thing nice. I got a foosball table up in here.
Hey, where you at?
I'm in Dallas.
Oh, you got a house in Dallas too? Boy,
I ain't got no hell no.
Money, what?
But see, Ocho, I was at the forefront. I said, Russ is not going to be in Denver next year. Man, how you know? Man, you don't know. You ain't in the locker room. Right. I love when people start, man, you don't know. Bro, I know y'all think that people like ESPN hired me and I was on, CBS because I'm a pretty face. But do you actually think that when I don't really do a whole lot of stuff. I don't really do a whole lot of breaking news because that's not my job. When I was at a network, when I was at Fox, that's Jay Glazer's job. When I'm not at ESPN, that's Adam Schefter, rest your soul more. That was their job. So that ain't what I do. But you bet your ass now. If I tell you something now, if I tell you a duck smokes cigarettes, if you grab him and hold him and check his wings, got some Benson and Hedges up under there. I'm just telling you what you do. If you grab him to catch him and hold his wing, look, he got a pack of cigarettes up under there.
You went old school. I don't think nobody caught that. The chat might be too young for the Benson and Hedges now. Hey, my grandma.
What them Cool and Marlboro?
Yeah.
I had an uncle that smoked them Pall Mall. Pall Malls that had no filter.
Right.
Yeah. Or that Prince, them old guys had that Prince Albert in the can.
Oh yeah.
You know about that Prince Albert in the can or that Dutch?
That's so back.